Hello everyone, we're back with some Thunder Dragons. Today we're going to be testing out Assault Synchron in the deck to see if this actually holds a place within. Now it does change the strategy of the deck ever so slightly, utilizing some of the new Synchro monsters such as the Axel Synchro Stardust Dragon in order to bring out the devastating Satellite Warrior or even Baron de Fleur, completely unaffected by opponent's card effects. Now the thing about this deck is the extra deck is super ridiculously tight. You want like a 25 card extra deck, right? You have to make sacrifices somewhere. There's some cards you're probably looking at the extra deck screaming, why aren't you playing this? Trust me, if you're thinking about it, I thought about it. We went through a million iterations of this deck. This is what I finally landed on. I feel like if you want to play the Assault Synchron in this deck, this is probably going to be one of the better ways, if not the best way of doing it. Really consistent, absolutely loving it. Really takes advantage of the level 8s in the deck an awful lot more, but I'm not going to ramble about that too much here in the beginning. What we're going to do is at the end of the video very briefly revisit the deck. We'll probably not do a full profile, but we'll see what the Assault Synchron does. I've got a few games lined up that sort of show off the Assault Synchron in some very challenging games in terms of like what it brings and what it costs the strategy. So I'm not going to be showing you like perfect sort of combo guides because anyone can put that on YouTube. What we're going to be showing is how the card actually works in the deck and what you're going to be seeing on a realistic game for game basis, right? We're not cherry picking for sort of good games where it looks nice. This is how it looks in the deck. So if you're interested in these types of breakdowns, these types of videos, subscribe. And if you do end up enjoying what you're watching, like the video. Every little bit helps and I really would appreciate anyone who would take the time to do it. Let's get into the gameplay. Alrighty, here we're going to open up with quite a strong game. Now we are going second here. We got pretty unlucky with our coin tosses. We're playing against Ice Jade, right? So this is a very sort of niche deck. They don't get an awful lot done here, a spoiler warning. But this is going to be more so just to show off some of the plays, some of the things you can do with the Synchron. I thought this was one of the better showings of it that we've got in the video, so I wanted to open up with this. They're going to make some plays here. Basically, this is just Ching Ying Turbo Pass, right? Which is, you know, Ching Ying's cool. But we can out him, it's easy. Whatever, we buns, we can do this. Draw for turn, draw into the Chaos Creator, which is nutty. We're going to go Tuning here. Tuning's going to grab us the Assault Synchron and mill a Foxy Tune. Excellent mill, puts a light in the grave. Now we're going to go Emergency Teleport. Our opponent's going to hit us with a fat Ash Blossom. That kind of slows us down a little bit, but not that much because we do have the Ogre Dance in hand. That's why Ogre Dance is so good. Really tempted to bump that up to 3. Grabbing the Xiamen, normal the Xiamen, activate to search our deck for a Foxy Tune. Foxy Tune now activates, discarding a Collapse Up in here. Now we can't banish cards here thanks to the opponent's Ching Ying. If we were to banish a card, Ching Ying is going to banish a monster on our field and in our graveyard, so he's going to decimate our available resources. So we really need to play around rather carefully when it comes to banishment. We're going to go into the Chaos Ruler, triggering off its own effect to mill the top 5 cards of our deck, grabbing a Light or a Dark among them. And dear note, instead of reviving level 8 for your standard combo, it's going to revive the Xiamen so that we can have the materials basically ready for the Psychic End Punisher. That's our big out to Ching Ying. So now we're just going to go straight into it here, sending the rest of the graveyard, bringing out the Psychic End Punisher here, and this is going to be a pretty good opportunity to see some of the synergy. So Assault Synchron, what does the card actually do? This is the whole video is about this card. This card basically can special summon itself from your hand for free at the cost of 700 life points. Now that's actually quite a good thing because your Psychic End Punisher loves you being at lower life points than your opponent. So that's not even really a cost, it actually helps us out. So he special summons himself for free, he's a level 2 tuner. His second effect comes up like on occasion, but it's not really that good. It's mainly the special summon effect and the fact that it's a level 2 we're focused on, and it being a dark is also pretty useful. So we're going to special out the Assault Synchron. That gives us a banish target off the Psychic End Punisher, and no, it's not just a video about using it as banish fodder. We're now going to banish 2 to special summon out the Chaos Ruler, and this is where the Chaos Creator comes into the play because we can banish 2 for Creator. Creator then targets 3 banished monsters with different names. We get to summon back the Assault Synchron from the banish pile, then tune it off with one of our level 8s to go into Baron de Fleur. Now it doesn't matter what that back row is, it is useless and our opponent immediately scoops. So whatever that back row was, it was going to try and save him the game. Not a chance. If we have the opportunity to go into Baron de Fleur, that's what it does. And that's where Assault Synchron sort of shines. It enables Baron de Fleur to come out so much easier, and it enables the Axel Synchro package, which was another thing we could have gone into, right? Absolutely nutty. Easy, easy, easy lethal on board. We had like 11 or 12,000 damage, 3k, like 5,000 on the Psychic M Punisher, 23 on Chaos Creator, 3k on Blacklisted Soldier. Destroyed. Let's get in the game too. Now this one is up against everybody's favourite deck to see on the ladder, Tearlaments. Love to see it. They're going to go for Shyren off the bat. We're just going to maxi. We don't need to be dealing with this clown. We could have ashed that as well, but you know what? I would rather draw the cards. I don't think he's going to generate enough advantage off a Siren here. He mills 2 copies of Rhino Heart, but he doesn't really fancy special summoning Rhino Heart to the field on their maxi because he doesn't want to give us a bunch of cards. So instead, he only activates Sullick, which we're now going to Ash Blossom in order to prevent him from searching his deck for another card. That should pretty much put his turn to a standstill. He's got 2 dead Rhino Hearts in grave, but Mad Lad just has the Cyberstein in hand. He just has it. Just draw the out. You know what I mean? Just open Cyberstein. It's that easy. Why didn't I think of that? Well, either way, now we're dealing with Naturia Exterio, which gives him basically infinite spell and trap card negates. Spell cards are now illegal. Cannot play them. We're going to drop Thunder Dragon Dark during the end phase to grab ourselves another one just to facilitate some additional banishment fodder. We would, here in this hand, have some really good searchers, but Exterio does shut that down, and I sort of forget mid-combo, which you're going to see, that Exterio exists. But we do have a Hawk in hand and a Dark in the grave, so we're going to go for Thunder Dragon Hawk off the bat, discarding to attempt to re-summon the Dark back to the field. Our opponent's going to try and retaliate with a maxi of their own, but unfortunately we're just going to rip that raw double Ash. Get fucked. So we're going to negate the maxi, and we're going to bring back our Thunder Dragon Dark off of the Hawk. We're going to tribute it right away for Colossus. Now, we had 2 possible plays here, and we did go for the wrong one. We have a slow play and we have a turbo play. We do misplay here. So our play, what we could have done is we could have just used Colossus, banish this, banish Dark to go straight into Titan. Titan, swing over Exterio, beat its ass, right? And then in the main phase 2, we've got Chaos Space and Tuning and blah blah blah. We can start gaming. Or we can take the slow approach and just try to wait it out, basically. So what we do here is we actually, like a dumbass, first of all, we grab Thunder Dragon Fusion, but we activate Chaos Space. We drop our Dark, and it gets negated. Of course it gets negated. I forgot completely Exterio was a card. Totally my bad. And that also puts us in a rough position, because now we don't have the Dark in hand to even go into the Titan. So it's like, well, shit, what do we do now? Can't use Fusion either. So we're just going to summon out the Collapsibant. We're going to swing in, take out as many monsters as we can, take out as many life points as we can. Remember, this man just paid 5k life points to summon that Exterio. And it negates spells and traps, meaning he doesn't exactly have a way to get rid of our Colossus, right? He's going to swing in at the Colossus. We're going to take 200 points of damage, but who cares? We banish the Dark to protect our Colossus, grabbing Thunder Dragon Roar from the deck. He does wipe out the Collapsibant, but again, who cares? We use it to grab a Wyvern Burster. We actually went +2 on our opponent's turn while keeping our Colossus on board. So there you go. Passing back to us yet again here, we're going to have a bunch of plays, opening up the Foxy Toon. What a top deck, dropping the Foxy Toon, dropping the Roar, summoning Xiamen. Xiamen grabbing us a Deer Note to our hand. We're going to special out the Wyvern Burster by banishing the Roar. Roar will summon the Dark. Now we're going to Synchro Summon off into the Moonlight Dragon. Moonlight Dragon, get bouncing, get rid of that Exterio. And at that point, our opponent realizes it's GG's. It's game over. It is donezo. Easy dubs. We had a whole bunch of plays we could have done there, but we definitely 100,000,000% had lethal, of course. Our opponent had like 1100 life points. We just needed to swing in and attack twice. Like, we already had lethal on board. But even if he had 8,000 life points, we could have OTK'd from that position because we had Thunder Dragon Fusion, we had Deer Note, we could have comboed like crazy there. I'm not going to lie to you. Really, really solid position. Tuning was a dead card in that until turn 2. We could have used Tuning there to go into a bunch of different synchros as well. So again, just another situation where you want to burn in what you can do thanks to Tuning. Didn't see a lot of play in this game. Let's see if it does in game 3. Alright, now I'm going to prep you in advance. We do misplay quite heavily this turn. Not like last turn where it's like, oh, like a 1 card, like, oh, D&D little misplay. We cuck ourselves, right, this time. So I'm going to point out at what point it goes wrong. At the beginning, all is well. We do get hit with an Imperm on the Xiamen. We have the Designator, luckily. We draw our own 1-of, so now we can't be angry at other people. You know, the Crossout Designator limited to 1. Just draw the out. Again, why do people... Sounds like a skill issue. Just draw the out. We're going to grab Deer Note from the deck. We don't have a fantastic way of summoning it, so what we're going to do is we're actually going to Tribute Summon it by summoning out the Collapse Serpent, then Tribute Summoning over it for the Deer Note. Again, gotta get creative sometimes when it comes to getting the combo on board, but now it is. We're going to go Chaos Ruler. Chaos Ruler, mill 5, Deer Note, get Reviving. We no longer have a level 8 in the graveyard though, so we have to summon out the Omen, which is fine. It's a tuner. I'll take it. Maxi, Fusion, Tuning, Infinite Impermanence, and Emergency Teleport, all trash. Useless, useless, useless mill 5. We do get the Banish Roar for the Dark though. Now we can use our Assault Synchron. We can get gaming. Going in the Baron de Fleur. Baron de Fleur being phenomenal in this position. We're going to get rid of these two as well for the Stardust Dragon. Now all is well at this position. We're doing really well here. This is perfect. We're setting up the Stardust Dragon play. We're setting up the Baron de Fleur. We've got the Hawk. All is looking great. And here's where we fuck it up. We activate Chaos Ruler. Why is that a fuck up? Our Foxy Toon's already banished. The only light we have in play is the Hawk in hand. We cost ourselves Colossus because I forgot the Foxy Toon was banished already. That is huge. We are going to link 2 off into Sprite Elf. Luckily, Sprite Elf gets a little bit more utility in this build because it's able to bring back the Assault Synchron. So this is perfect. So this could have been a lot better, right? I'm not going to kid you. This could have been a lot better. But what do we have? We have a Monster Reborn, protection from targeting, Omni Negate, and we have a pop 2 whenever we want. So we're not exactly in a terrible position. We're going to need to play into our opponent here, see what they've got. We're going to go Nimble Beaver off the bat. I really did deliberate on this quite heavily. I could have let this go through and save the negate for like an elf or gigantic, but I didn't want him to just have a handful of sprites and just start like bang, 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 summoning and searching. If we had Colossus, that wouldn't have been a problem. But we don't, because I fucked up. That's my bad. If we had Colossus, Sprite, boom, finito, done, finished. You cannot search, you cannot do anything. Do not pass go, do not collect $200. You simply do not get to play. We are going to go for our Stardust Dragon here. Unfortunately, our opponent has the out. I can't be too mad at him having Called by the Grave. We did have the Designator turn 1. So, what are you going to do? Sort of just balances itself out, I suppose. So he does negate the Axel Synchron. Unfortunately, the Axel Synchro. Going into the Jet. Jet now is going to search their deck. We're going to activate our Sprite Elf now. We may as well. I get tired of seeing the prompt. It doesn't do us any benefits holding off on using it. Going to bring out the Maxi here. They're going to go Gamma Burst of all cards. Gamma Burst lining up to do some major damage. Going into Gigantic Sprite, detaching a material to summon out the red from the deck. Red and Gigantic going into Sprite Elf. Sprite Elf reviving back from the graveyard the Gigantic that they just sent there. Gigantic immune to targeting. They're going to go Gamma Burst, boosting up the board. They're going to take out our Chaos Ruler and our Baron de Fleur at the cost of their own Gigantic Sprite and passing turn back to us. But they do have Milfy Caddy in their hand. That's a bit of a problem, so that was a really good card for them to end on. We have Thunder Dragon Fusion and Grave. We're going to banish it from the graveyard to get searching. They're going to revive the Sprite Red from the graveyard, giving them a monster negate, a very good play. We're going to grab the Chaos Creator. Chaos Creator being absolutely nutty here. Going to summon it out after banishing a Dark and a Wyver Burster. That's going to trigger the Dark to search our deck for a Thunder Dragon card, basically. Which is pretty damn awesome. We're going to grab ourselves a little roar action. Roar, get roaring. Penny's going to summon itself out, immediately synchro into the Merry Melfies. Merry Melfies on, someone's going to bounce the Sprite Elf back to the extra deck. Didn't have an awful lot of choice because these guys were protected from targeting. We're going to target 3 of our banished cards here, but thanks to the creator. Our opponent is going to take the bait here and negate it off of Sprite Red. So that's that negate gone and done. Don't need to worry about that anymore. We're going to tribute summon the Thunder Dragon Roar. Is that 2 tribute summons this game? Have we tribute summoned both turns? Nuts. We're going to go Roar here. We're going to link summon, into Sprite Elf. Roar now is going to special summon out the Thunder Dragon Dark from the deck. Now we're going to grab our Assault Synchron, using these 2 to go into the Black Rose Moonlight Dragon. Black Rose get bouncing, and at this point I believe our opponent sort of realizes that they're a little bit screwed. We're going to go into the battle phase, taking out the red, attacking directly with the Sprite Elf. Our timer was pretty low here, but we didn't have our normal summon anyways. So yeah, this is totally fine. Again, if they happen to survive this turn, we would have had massive amounts of follow-up in the form of our Moonlight going into Satellite. And yeah, but we didn't need to wait around for that because our opponent decides they've seen enough. Moonlight Dragon's a little bit of an iffy card in the Sprite matchup, but it worked out. We got the dub. What more do you want? We butchered our turn 1 by using that Chaos Ruler. Just imagine how much better this game would have went if we didn't have to worry about him searching for cards. Right? Sucks to suck. Sometimes you fuck it up. Let's get into game 4. Getting into game 4 as I am sweating my ass off in this room. It is hot. We're going to go Z-Almond off the bat here. Z-Almond paying 600 to grab ourselves a Foxy Toon. Foxy Toon dropping itself as well as another card after Max C makes its appearance. This does make our situation a little bit awkward. We need to choose whether or not we're going to play in the Max C. I've been traumatized enough by it in recent streams to know that I'm not doing it. I'd rather be handed the L by 6 cards than by 70. So he's going to banish here for a Pot of Prosperity, revealing that he is playing Altergeist Stun Trap Shenanigans. They're going to grab Solemn Strike, which of course is a little bit saddening. They're going to normal summon the Marionetter, setting the manifestation directly from the deck. Now, we do inherently have an out to most trap-based strategies in this deck, and I think some of you have already figured out what that out is. And we're going to make it nice and simple for you. We're going to go Dear Note, showing the Foxy Toon, summoning itself out to the field. Z-Almond paying 600 life points, grabbing ourselves an Ogre Dance, putting us at lower life points than our opponent, which is very important for what's coming up next. We're going to go Chaos Ruler. Chaos Ruler having its summon negated and destroyed by Solemn Strike. Another thing to note is that Solemn Strike, because this negates the summon, technically Chaos Ruler was never properly summoned, meaning it cannot use its own effect to revive itself. Chaos Ruler is now just a dead card. Done. Cannot revive itself. That is worth bearing in mind in case that ever comes up. So we're going to revive the Foxy Toon from the graveyard. We're going to use Foxy Toon in hand, dropping an Ogre Dance to summon Z-Almond and Synchro Summon into the Psychic End Punisher. And can anyone guess what happens next? We go into the battle phase, we boost it by 200. He tries to negate us because he doesn't know how to read because he's playing the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Absolute clown. Realizes he can't do anything about our Punisher. We pass turn because we don't need to go lower life points than him. Are you joking? Not yet. We're going to go Pot of Extravagance, Pot of Greed, draw 2, drawing into nothing that can out the Punisher. That's how you stop stun decks. That's how you stop trap decks. It is the Punisher. All day, every day. Just whack it on the field. See what happens. Fuck around and find out. That's the nickname of that card. Let's get into the deck profile. Alrighty. So the vast majority of this deck is virtually identical to our previous profile, which I will put in the description below. I'm only going to cover off the new cards here because I don't want to waste everyone's time who has been watching the video. So if you do want a full breakdown on all of the cards, check below. All I'm covering off in this video is some of the new ones and some of the options you can play but maybe we weren't. So number 1, of course, being the Assault Synchron. Assault Synchron can special summon itself in the hand at the cost of 700 damage to yourself, which is amazing. You like being lower life points thanks to your Psychic End Punisher. You love the level 2 tuner. It being a level 2 is beautiful. Instant Baron de Fleur alongside any of your level 8s, be it Chaos Ruler, be it the Creator, be it Blackluster Soldier, be it anyone at all. Assault Synchron can do amazing amounts of work. Absolutely perfect card. And we're going to pair that up playing 2 copies alongside 3 copies of Tuning. Tuning will grab you any Synchron tuner from your deck and then send the top card of your deck to the graveyard, so you get an extra little mill 1 off of it, and it's not limited to once per turn, meaning it is phenomenal ash bait, right? So Tuning is pretty damn good. Love it, especially if you do hit a really good mill. Most of the time you don't, right? Let's be real. Most of the time you'll hit a spell card or you hit a hand trap or whatever. But like on those few games where you use Tuning and you mill a Thunder Dragon Dark, or you mill a Roar, or you mill like a Foxy Toon, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So those are the only real alterations to the main deck. We messed around with our hand traps. We dropped the DD Crow. It's not useful enough in enough different matchups for me to justify playing it over Ash, Maxi, Imperm, Called By, and Crossout. I feel like the triple Ash, honestly, primarily here for Maxi. I'm sick and tired of getting hit with Maxi. I'm playing Ash. This card is highly underrated. Everyone is saying like, oh, Ash sucks because it's not very good against Tier and Tier is the meta. Yeah, but like, it's still usable against Tier and it beats basically everything else. It stops Maxi. That's all the reasoning. That's all I need to hear. That's all you gotta tell me. You don't gotta tell me twice. I'm good. Getting into the extra deck. Here's where things get pretty touch and go. So I'm going to talk about the new cards, them being the addition of the Axel Synchro Stardust Dragon, the original Stardust Dragon, and Satellite Warrior. Why are we playing these 3 cards? What do they do? It all centers around this card, the brand new Axel Synchro Stardust Dragon. What does this card actually do? Well, on summon, you're going to special summon a level 2 or lower tuner from your graveyard, i.e. your Assault Synchron, which you more than likely used in the summoning of this card, ideally alongside something like a Roar. So this guy will revive an Assault Synchron from your graveyard, which was either sent there by Synchro Summoning using it, or was milled off of a Chaos Ruler's effect, whatever, as long as it's in the grave. Then, at any point during the main phase, as a quick effect, meaning yours or theirs, you can tribute this card to then quick play Synchro Summon. Sorry, you quick play Synchro Summon Stardust Dragon from your deck with 0 materials, so it tags itself out into the OG Stardust, and then immediately uses Stardust and a tuner on your field to go into one of your level 10s. So ideally, of course, you want to have your Assault Synchron, your Stardust and your Assault Synchron will go into a level 10. And for the rest of that turn, the monster that you summon is unaffected by your opponent's activated effects, meaning whatever monster you summon is incredibly difficult to get rid of. So, that brings us to our third new card, Satellite Warrior. This card is meant specifically to be used for that combo. Why exactly are we using this over something like Ching Ying? You can play Ching Ying, but this card's pretty nutty. Basically, when he's summoned, you get to destroy cards in your opponent's field equal up to the number of synchro monsters that are in your graveyard. And for every card you destroy, he permanently gains 1000 attack points. Now, if you combine that with the fact that he's going to be unaffected by activated effects on the turn in which he's summoned, it means that you're basically able to pop a minimum of 2 cards on your opponent's turn, and he becomes a 4500 attack point beater. So it's like a quick play pop 2, which is incredible. And he's also unaffected, which makes him very difficult to get rid of. So absolutely, I think it's a phenomenal little combo. Really, really good. Is it mandatory? No. If you don't have Satellite Warrior, or you just don't want to play him, you can play Ching Ying. You know, little basic bitch move, but it's a move. You can play Ching Ying. But Satellite Warrior is where it's at. Satellite Warrior is based as hell. Honorable mentions for the extra deck. Things that if you don't have some of these cards, maybe you want to tag them out, maybe there's other things you want to do. Honorable mentions, Striker Dragon. Striker Dragon for sure. This guy makes your Chaos Twins a lot better. I wish I had room for him, I just don't. He's good, he's impactful, but he's not impactful enough. Coral Dragon. Coral Dragon was a really good option alongside... Basically, it let your Assault Synchron and your Chaos Twins do stuff by themselves without even utilizing your normal summon. So basically what would happen is you would have a Chaos Twin, ideally you'd be able to summon it, special summon it your Assault Synchron, use these 2 to go into your Coral Dragon. You then search for the other Chaos Twin, special summon it, and now you've got a level 6 tuner and a level 4 non-tuner, you're able to go into your Baron de Fleur. So it means that Assault Synchron plus a Chaos Twin equals Baron de Fleur. So Coral Dragon, definitely an honorable mention, and I feel like there were quite a few other ones that we were playing as well. We went through so many different extra deck options when we were testing the deck that it's hard for me to keep track of what ones were and weren't good, but those 2 I would say are 2 of the main ones. But yeah, you can customize the deck, chop and change it. I'm going to have the original deck profile without the tuning engine in the description below. You can compare the 2, run your sort of options, see what you like, see what you don't like, and just take from it what you want to play. That's pretty much everything from me. If you've got this far into the video and you haven't subscribed yet and you haven't liked the video, I would ask you reconsider. Obviously you like what you're seeing if you're this far in, so I would appreciate it if you would do me a favor, hit the wee like button and subscribe if you haven't, and after that I shall see you in the next one. Bye bye.